Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to StudioR12 Stencils. We are here to show you DIY things today, and we're so happy that you're here. I'm Patty.
I'm Carrie.
And we are ready to share some pretty mind-blowing, we're going to do blow your hippie noodle stuff today. You're going to learn a lot of really cool techniques. I'm trying to keep it as short as possible, so if you don't have time to watch it all right now, make sure you click in and watch all of it later, because there's a lot to know, and it's going to take your stenciling to the next level. I'm excited.
Yeah, and you can always catch these on replay on our Facebook page. You might have to scroll through the feed, or you can always find them on our YouTube channel, and those are a little easier to find because you can click on the live tab, and then all of our previous lives are there.
Yeah, and then you can go check out whatever other stuff. We try to make this super like question and answer. Today was inspired by fall. I actually woke up this morning and the temperature was 59 degrees. And that was a shock because last week was 100 basically every day. And so to have that really cool, refreshing, I ate breakfast outside.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
nice. It was like we woke up and fall was here.
And I guess it's August 1st.
Yes, it is
so
August
that,
1st.
in a way that makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah. So speaking of fall, our new Fall 23 collection, we are releasing it. We have a special collection made that when new items are added to the website, they get added into there. We've been sharing the link for a few days now, so be sure to keep checking that link. There's also a tab at the top of our website, StudioR12.com, that has Fall 23, and you can click that and keep checking it. Through the month of August, you can use the code FALL23 to get 25% off all of our new fall items. And so we have some fun things. They're trickling in.
You guys are so pretty. We have so many pretty things. Like we're in heart. If I had a leaf hand, I would leaf
we
this.
can make like a
So, but yeah, we are excited about what we've got going on. It's so pretty.
Yes, and so we have some things we're going to show you today from our collection, and then I also have some things I'm going to show you next week in our collection as well. So this is something that we're going to be talking about for a while. On our YouTube channel, it kind of introduced us to fall. Last weekend, Patty did a bleach video on a pillow form. It is part of the background now, so it's going to live up there for a while. So we did bleaching through a pillow, and this is part of a new series that we are doing where we're bleaching on everything.
Yeah, we about did. You guys, if you haven't bleached through your stencils, you're missing out. And like you can do so many fun things: t-shirts, tea towels, napkins, all
the fabrics.
All the fabrics. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and this, the one with the pillow, it was a 2-part stencil, so that even kind of made it a little neater because you might not think about doing the 2-part stencil.
Yeah, and what I loved about doing the bleach on the pillow, like check that video out because it's really interesting to know. But what I liked about it is it didn't add any texture from the paint. So I did a lighter application in some areas, a heavier application in other areas, so you got a gradation of colors, but it was all natural with the bleach and just changing the color of the fabric itself. And yeah, it's magic.
Super magic.
Amazing.
Speaking of magic, you guys, we have something super duper fun to show you. Steve, you might have to back up a little bit because Patty is going to give you a sneak peek of this weekend's video release. So if you've been with us for a while, you have seen our wine advent calendar. It was one of our favorite releases for last year. And last year when we released it, we just released it as a surface. And it worked beautifully. I gifted it, and it was one of the favorite gifts received. It was put out at Christmas parties and got some oohs and ahs. So this year, we enhanced it by adding stencils.
So what I love about this is the light. So we did some sponging for the background to give it a texture, and then we stenciled on the light bulbs and the colors, and I'm going to show you how to highlight and shade those using dome brushes. And then we spattered, but we gave the glow of the light. You're going to want to watch the video just for that technique alone. And then you can get lit.
Yeah, and so this is going to be a new project set. It is not currently available on StudioR12.com, but it will be very soon. So keep your eye out for the video and the release of the new stencil set, and it'll come as a combo set.
Yeah, and one of the things that we really love about this, if you have an office party, if you have a white elephant gift or a gift exchange, you know, the one that gets stolen every time. Right here, baby.
That is it.
Yeah, and then girlfriend gifts, daughter-in-law gifts, mother-in-law gifts. Hello, I'd take one of these.
Heck yeah, me too.
So
Phil.
you know what I'm saying? But like this is super fun. So this is just perfect for Christmas gift giving.
Yeah, agreed. And what I love about it is it can be as basic or as not if you want. So if you decide to just do it all black and leave it that way and then let the bottles be the magic of it, that's perfect. Or you can jazz it up. And I kind of love that the one I originally did was all the basic because that's more of my style of painting.
Yep.
And then Patty just blew
Christmas
it up.
it up.
And it's seeing it now, it's like, it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm excited for you guys to watch
how it turned out, you guys. I hope that you get excited about it too.
And can I have you pull out one of those bottles? Kat asked, "Is the tree holding what size bottle?" And they're just individual served.
Yeah, they're those many ounces. Yeah, mysterious ounces. I don't know how many ounces these are. Nope, same brand. It is not readily available.
And so when you get these, they come in several different. In our area, they come in several different. It's 187 milliliters. So
somebody do some math.
But they come in different. The different flavors have the different color lids. So you could buy a certain color to decorate it as one color, or buy a bunch of different
ones. When I
ones.
went to buy them, I went with the intent to please all my friends.
Yeah.
So we just made sure that we had how many ounces?
A bit over 6.
So about a 6 ounce.
Single serve.
Yeah. So it's just a regular pour, if you will. And so, but fun, you guys.
Super fun.
Yeah, love it. Love this technique.
And then if you are joining us today, so August 1st, along with our Fall 23 collection sale, we are also having a sale on some of our older fall stencils and fall designs. We have interspersed some of our new designs with some of our most popular older designs on the back wall. So I will share links to both collections, and I think we're ready to get going.
All right, so I am excited. I'm going to pull down a project off the wall. So this project was one that Carrie did this week using one of our brand new stencils, Embrace Change. And she did a drop shadow on the leaves and drop shadow on the lettering, and then she did the Liquitex, this is the modeling paste, through the stencils. So don't forget that you can do a raised effect through your stencils. You just do need to make sure that you clean them right away. And then you can mix color in with this. So if I wanted this to be a black modeling paste, I can just mix that with whatever color I want. And that raises up. And then when you lift your stencil, you lift it straight up and you will have all this beautiful raised texture. And it looks really cool when you paint over the top of the raised modeling paste and then make it be part of your background. So you can have so much fun with this. It is such a creative technique. But what I want to show you is that then we've taken this and gone another way. And so I'm going to bring my palette. I was playing with my colors. So I've just got one of the pieces of the Mylar palette paper. And I cut this one kind of long because I was rolling on my other sheet and I wanted a long roll to do my background. So don't forget that this Mylar palette paper is on our website. And it is handy, 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 dandy. Okay, so what I've got here is the same stencil, and I'm doing things in a completely different way. So what I've got going on here is this really schmeary, I took a palette knife, not that palette knife, a flat palette knife. We have these on the website. And so, I think I tucked it in the water. just to clean it up. So I just smeared in my paint and then just drug it along and then sanded through it. We have the technique on other videos. So you okay? And so I don't want to repeat that and keep us here longer. But then this stencil comes with all of the vein detail and all of the edge detail. So I wanted to show how you would blend without having like the whole of the leaf. So that's what I'm going to show you today, is how to use a little bit of a mother color, how to blend with different brushes, and how to kind of give a wash or a watercolor effect. And so let's just get started because there's so much to know. Today I'm also going to bring in a couple of new brushes. So I know brushes are amazing. One of my previous teammates here at work said to me one day, "Patty, you can't possibly need another brush." And I was like, "Oh, bite your tongue. No way. You always need new brushes." Like, I'm a little bit of a brush snob, but I've learned to do it on the cheap. Okay, so we have a stencil that has leaf details on it, but we don't have just the leaf whole. And that is what causes a little bit of conundrum. But we have lots of stencils that don't have the hole that comes with it. So what I'm going to show you today will be something that you will be able to use on any stencil like this that you want to fill in the background. Okay, so the very first thing I want to do is give myself a pattern. So I'm going to use a regular dome brush. I'm going to go into, I've got my colors out here. I'm going to say them fast. 27, 9, 17, 18, 22, 12, 28, and 52. And then I have some stains, and we'll address those later when we get into the stain lane. So what I want to do is give myself a coloring book outline. So I just want to have that little bit of outline. And so now's when I'm going to introduce the idea of a mother color. So my background is in basically, get that off there, is in this kind of cream color, which is number 22 with number 27 over it. Okay, so I just kind of, that's my main color. And then when I smeared some of the number 12, I mixed number 22 into number 12. And then when I smeared some of this orange color, I took the number 9 and smeared it, mixed it together with some of that same 22. So what that does when you have a mother color is if you need to mix colors, then you use one color to be the parent, and then all the children will follow the parent. It's a really easy technique to make your colors match. It will make everybody family. Okay, so just pin that back down again. It doesn't matter if I'm exactly lined up over here because this leaf is free floating. So we're gonna go into our orange, which is the number 9, and we're gonna go into mother color number 22. Gonna mix it on the palette, and I got into some of my gray, and then I'm gonna mix into a little bit more. I want just a faint line, so this is kind of the color that I have, is just that soft, subtle color, and then we're just gonna go over the lines, on just the outer lines, and I'm gonna give myself the outline. So basically you're gonna make it into a coloring book. Cannot wait for you guys to see the brushes. Mostly I've stayed away from showing brushes off because I feel like it can be intimidating if you're a stenciler, but sometimes you gotta know stuff, right? So you don't always wanna just be like, you wanna actually make things look deeper, or you wanna make magic, jazzy stuff. So it's easy to do. This is something you can do as a beginner. I'm not gonna do the stem because it's gonna get the brownish color at the end, and I think that is good. So brush goes in the water, and let's talk about brushes. I always want to talk about brushes. Okay, so I have an outline. Okay, so now that's my coloring book. We have brushes. I'm going to introduce the family. These are Mezzalunas, and they are a very stiff, skinny, scumbling brush. They are basically like a dome brush when on a diet, They're the same thing. They're domed this way, they're domed this way, but they're skinny. Anytime you need little color changes, this is a perfect brush to get. So it's like your dome brush with a lot of control. So this is magic. I'm going to show you how they work. And then I'm going to bring the whole family over. You don't need all of them. It's not like the dome brushes where you're going to want them in sets. If you tend to do large size things, you'll pick the larger size. If you're a tiny painter or crafter, then you'll choose smaller size. And then if you're just right in the middle, like Goldilocks, then you'll choose the middle sizes. And you notice that these are very similarly sized. So you don't need one of everything. Just when you choose the one. So this is a flat brush. I'm going to show you how to use the angle brush is what I'm going to use today, but these all kind of work in the same way. So these are an angle shader, and a couple of them are flipped backwards, but they have an angle. They are exactly the same brush as this, but with an angle cut on the hairs. I almost said fur. Lots of talky about brushes. Okay, and then this is a different style of the flat brush. These brushes are super affordable, super durable. You can use them for varnishing in the big sizes. You can use them for little details in the small, and I will show you about them. Okay, so those are the brush family we're going to look at. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my angle shader. Okay, so that's the brush that has a little tiptoe on it. And I'm going to use a watercolor technique. So what I'm going to do is mix my colors of paint. They're just acrylic paint. You can use it with acrylics. You can use it. I've got some stains out here. I'm going to show you how to do some glazing with that. But I really wanted this kind of dancey kind of technique. So what you'll do is you mix any acrylic, any water-based paint with a little bit of water, and it makes it into kind of a watercolor technique. So I'm going to need to actually switch to a slightly bigger one of those because this leaf is much smaller. So I think, yeah, we'll go. I've got the number, that's a 5/8. Now with these brushes, when you are in your when you're in your water bucket, when you push down on these, do not push on the tip of the brush or you will wreck the brush. The dome brush, we do this kind of stuff all the time, so that's fine. With this one, you're going to tip your hand slightly and push the flat of the brush on the bottom of the bucket if you need to do that. Okay, and you just kind of do both sides. So just be aware you don't want to be doing this with these brushes. They are not the same as dome brushes. This is a Taklon fiber. Anyway, I won't go into all that. Okay, so let's get started on our coloring. So we know with our leaves, we're going to dance around. So we're going to take number 9. I've got a little bit of water on my brush. Can you see okay, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got a little bit of the orange on my brush, just on the toe. That's important. I just have it on this toe of the brush. I don't have it back here on the heel. If I get it on the heel, I might wipe it off on the back of the heel. So just keep it there on one side, and then I'm going to dip into a little bit of that mother color, maybe even into a little bit of yellow. And then the more water you add, the sheerer it becomes. So it's like hanging a curtain that is a sheer. And then you're going to come over here and you're going to let the toe slide into these areas that are jagged, and you're just going to kind of tickle blend. I'm blending with the back of the brush, so when I get back here and I'm blending, I'm pushing down on the back, and when I want to do strong detail, I use the toe and lead with that. So I'm just tap, 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 blend, blend, blend. Okay, and so that begins just this faded sheer application of washi paint. What happens if it's tragedy and you did it wrong? Okay, now I'm doing that thing where I tip my brush back and I'm cleaning my brush out. These are different than the domes. You don't want to leave them sitting in your water, so you need to rinse them out and get most of the color out. So say horrible things happen. I can take my paper towel, dip it in water, and I can go right in there and I can wipe the whole darn thing off. So you have a lot of leeway with this, so it's very forgiving. My water isn't even very clean in here because I've been playing around. And so, Carrie, I'm going to dance around a little bit if they
You
have
wanna
any
dance
questions.
around? Well, I don't have any questions right this second, but we do have one more thing that we have not mentioned yet.
Okay.
Today's August 1st.
Happy August.
August 4th is the cutoff for pre-orders for our August project of the month. So we just have a couple more days left where you can pre-order that. With our project of the month, you will get exclusive stencils, a brand new surface, embellishments to make a double-sided project, and it is fall and Halloween themed. You'll also get some bonus gifts. You will get exclusive coupons. We have filmed an exclusive video that you will gain access to if you get the project of the month. So it is valued around $80, over $80, and you can get it for $39.99. But you have to order by August 4th. On August 4th, we are shutting it down. You will not be able to purchase it after that, and all projects will be shipped on August 15th.
Yeah, you guys, it's cool. It's cool.
Yes, we are
love it.
super excited about that.
Yeah,
And
the reception has been extremely, extremely very positive.
yes, absolutely. And we have some people commenting, I got mine. I'm glad there's going to be a video. I love that the project is well over 50% off. Us too. So we're super excited about this, and we're excited that you're excited about it too. It's something that we have been working on
for like 2 years.
Yes.
Oh, you guys, it was so hard. We were going to do stencils of the month, and we decided that if you got a stencil and you didn't know what to do with it, it would just be meh. And it would be kind of aggravating in a way.
Yeah.
So we decided that we wanted to, that the project would be the thing, and then doing the project in 2 ways, doing a couple of techniques. We show you there's a little book that comes with it that shows you a couple of different color stories. So you know what to do with yourself when you get it.
Well, and I think a lot of the things that we have in this box and some of the things that we have talked about for potentially a next one are very versatile.
Yeah.
So you will be able to use these things on different projects that are themed for what you're wanting to paint.
So see how I'm layering the colors, and if I start getting dry with my brush, something that you can also do is just finger paint just a little bit and blend your colors together. When your colors are sheer like this, and I'm just picking up more water and blending back in the same little spot, you don't have to keep all of your colors in like one spot. You can layer over each other, and they call that a wash. And so normally, like you guys, mainly if you're not like a crafting painter or an artist painter, I guess, you might not be aware that color doesn't have to go on solid. You know, so having the ability to shear up your paints changes the entire look of everything. Okay, so now we're gonna go into this red. It's number 18, which is our favorite Christmas red, but I don't want it to be Christmas red. I want it to be fall orange red, and so I'm just mixing my colors together with my brush, blotting my brush, and now we'll go in and deepen up some areas. And notice I'm just rotating my project. And then when we get done with this, we are going to go and we're going to put the stencil back over and put the vein lines and stuff in. And honestly, the vein lines will make your project sing. Anytime, there was an artist, Maxine Thomas, that used to say when she would come and teach at my shop in Portland, she used to say, I live to line, or I paint to line. And she was all about lining, outlining everything. And lining just really brings your projects to life. Okay, so we're just making these glazes, and it's super subtle. And then at about this point, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this brush. So I'm moving these brushes out of the way so I can hit that little angle. There's a how to clean your brushes video on YouTube. You wanna watch that so that you don't wreck any of the value of your brushes and you keep them intact. So we're gonna switch to the Mezzalunas. and that's our skinny brushes. So this is where I want my control. So now I'm gonna pick up my red, and I'm not gonna do this with water. The same rules apply to the Mezzaluna as applies to the dome. You're gonna scumble with it, you're gonna be mean to your brush, you're gonna leave it in the water, you're gonna be, you know, scrubby, offload. They work the same way. They're exactly the same kind of brush, but on a diet. So now we'll go into our red areas and make sure I'm dry. And then I'm just gonna get in there, and right up next to my edge, I wanna darken that. So I'm just gonna scumble in there. And so it will kiss the orange with some red. It's just a fun technique. Dip a little bit more orange. That one's not dry. Definitely need to be dry. If you're not dry, then you will make a little bit of a washy mess. Okay, so we just get in there. And then this is how you can do this really nice walking fade. So it will just blend, and so would your domes, but the domes just don't have that skinny edge, so I can get in there and do the skinny technique. Okay, so this is gonna take your painting to a whole new dimension. You wanna have a couple of these just for when you need them. And then obviously maybe one of the other two sides of the flat and the angle shader, just to have them to be able to do the techniques. Okay, I'm gonna get in here. Yeah.
Kelly asked us, watching Patty do this wash on the wooden type surface, can you also do this on canvas?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm looking down here to see where I'm at with my color. I've got number 17, and actually that's not number 17, that is the brown Hedgewood, which I'm going to not get into. Number 17 is what I wanted. I think it's up a little higher, but I'll put fresh out. So I'm gonna go in with the orange and number 17. And notice my brush is still laying out here. Tisk, tisk. Don't leave. I've got a fan blowing on me too, so that means that the fan is gonna be drying that paint. And you can use a brush cleaner to get that out of there, but who wants to do
So those brushes are okay in the water?
Yes.
Because
they're the same.
The Mezzaluna. Okay. And then Lori wants to know, she admitted that she was reading comments instead of watching.
Oh no!
She asked if you were offloading with
yes.
your other brushes.
I'm blotting with the other brushes. So if I'm this brush and I've loaded water, I'll give it just a soft, I don't know that you're gonna be able to see, Steve. But what happens when you're in person, there's a shine on the top. And what you do is you just give it a touch until the shine dulls down. You want me to do it slow one more time? See if we can get it. Okay, so ready? Can you see the shine? Okay, so we got it shiny. Watch it disappear. It goes really fast. So when that shine goes away, now you're good. And then if I'm picking up my paint, I blend it a little bit, and then I come back over here and just touch that just to get rid of any excess, because if I don't, let me show you what happens if I don't. I'll do it right here. Wait for Steve to catch up. The attention deficit with hyperactivity disorder might be my identity. It's a mess. Anyway, so if I have too much water, that will pool. See how that's just like a puddle right there? And that's a good technique too, but it's not the technique we're using today. So then I just wipe it off. If I make a mistake, I get rid of it.
I am super excited. I have seen that some orders have been coming in while we're live, and I know that it's you guys on the live. We have August product of the month going out the door to some of these people soon, and some Mezzalunas are being purchased.
Make sure you let us know when you get your project of the month. So this is our first one, and like we've been shipping, like, I don't know how many stencils we ship a year. I should know that number off the top of my head, but we, like, 100,000 might be a right number. It's a big number. Anyway, when you get this though, this will be our very first one of these. They are produced locally here in the United States. Women owned, veteran owned, thank you very much. But so these are not things that we're gonna get stuck with. These are things that we are manufacturing directly for you when you place your order. They'll all go out on the 15th. You're all gonna get them at once. Let us know what you think. And like, we want the feedback, like whatever you guys think. So I'm darkening this up by the neck of the, did you know that leaves had necks? I mean, right? Okay, so we're gonna get that up there. So I'm just kind of color blocking right now. Just being like, okay, where would I think the leaf would get darker? And then as I get close to the edges, I'm gonna switch to the Mezzaluna brush. If you've ever wanted a skinny version of this, that is the thing to get. So I'm pulling that dark through the middle, and it doesn't look like much right now. And then one thing that I can do to make my brushes stretch, I can go in here and I can wipe that off of my brush, and then I can dip into, say, my orange. I can neutralize my color, and then I can go in here and I can just walk that out with maybe a little bit more orange. Layer over my red. This is so fun. Be careful if you want something super yellow, not to cover up too much of your background, because that'll make it muddy. So just do be careful that if you want a brighter yellow, that you don't make it hard on yourself. I love this technique because it's going to allow the background to kind of show through, and that's going to give that mottled effect on your leaves. So I'm going to switch brushes, and we'll Mezzaluna a little bit more. Can you imagine? I want to hear what you guys think about this technique and whether you think that it's scary, and if you have questions, because I want to answer those questions. That's why we're here every Tuesday. Like, we almost scheduled, oh, by the way, we have a new baby granddaughter in our family. Yay. Lena and Chris had a new baby. We almost scheduled a C-section on Tuesday, and we were like, can you change that? We're pretty serious about our lives. Anything for the baby, though, obviously. But yeah, that was funny. But yeah, if you have questions, please do let me know. Okay, so I'm just scumbling in some more of the orange. I'm in orange and red right now, deepening the colors. Wait till you see what happens next when we move into the stains.
Christine has her husband watching with her today.
Nice.
Hello and welcome. Kelly says, I love watching this technique. We have lots and lots of congratulations on the new baby.
It's so cute. She's a little girl. Oh my goodness.
And she has the longest legs.
She has Ted Rawlinson legs. What's going on there? She has a Hamilton head because it's round. Yeah, their other child, their second child is Leo, and he is Lena's mini-me. Like, totally only looks like Lena at this point, but he's amazing. But I think this one has dark hair and not the light hair. It's just fun. So see how I'm just scribbling? If you think about the scribble action, that's what this feels like. I'm just scribbling colors wherever I want them, and then crossing over. I'm not doing, there's no like blend technique. I'm just making sure I wipe my paint out so you offload, and then make sure that you're just scribbling. So I'm looking down here to see how I'm balanced with this leaf. I love that embrace change. I think that's just such a fun thing to say. Okay, so we are gonna switch to stains. Okay, so on the stains, I'm not using the barn red. We've got the crimson. These are the Min Wax. We do have the Min Wax can. Discovered these this last year, or this year, I think, actually. Yeah. So these are, I wanted to do this over the Shishugibon. And the Shishugibon is that fire, you burn the wood and it brings out all the sap in the natural wood. And then you use stain over the top of it. The technique is amazing. We call it painting with fire.
Yeah,
you want to watch those videos.
You can see it from there.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that porch sign, we had an Americana one. Did we do one more? I feel like there might have been three, but
playlist right now.
so anyway, so these are water-based stains. They're a little bit expensive, so I think they're like $12 to $16 a can.
That can't last long.
It will last you. You need to split these. These are honey bottles. We have an affiliate link on Amazon. If you split this with 4 of your painting friends and you each took a bottle like this will last you for 10 years. I feel you use,
Unless you do a lot of this.
well, I mean, I use like, I'm talking like that's less than a dime size. Yeah, well, but it's still very little. Anyway, so, but they come in like 244 colors. I want them all. I'm collecting. Okay, so I'm using 4 colors. I've got I did not use the orange. I'm mixing instead the red, so that's always easier. So that's lemon number 1007, crimson 1147, and Hedgewood 1206. Excuse me. All right, so I put out just literally a drop, and that is plenty. What's neat about this, okay, so if you're like rolling your eyes, like I don't need any more paint, these paints are the acrylic paints, and they are wonderful, but they are designed to base coat with. They're designed to cover up whatever you're painting over. So they have filler, they have paint filler in them, whatever makes paint masked. So they don't do a good sheer thing. These don't have fillers, so these are a sheer paint that is sheer magic. We're just gonna, I love that it's just literally like a drip of paint. Okay, we'll get these back over here. Now we're gonna go back to our angle shader. On this leaf down here, I used this brush, and on this leaf, I'm using this brush, and they do come in the gold handle and the clear handle. Yeah, I'm not sure. Do we have both of those on the website?
Yep,
Okay.
the gold one is the workhorse brush, and
Okay.
the clear one is the clearly amazing. And both of them come in flat or angled.
Yeah. So the workhorse with the gold handle is slightly more durable, but this is slightly more fine and refined. So either would work. Check the prices, decide what you want. This one, you're going to be gentler with it. This one is a workhorse, and it's a beast. It's a beast.
Before you get started,
Yes.
I am going to read you a couple comments because I want you to give some encouragement.
Oh, gosh,
We've
okay.
had some people saying that it looks beautiful but scary.
Yes.
And you're so confidently painting. I would be going past my edges.
Aha.
You make this look so easy. So can you just kind of touch on some of these things?
Yeah, they're all good comments, and I knew that they would come. It's kind of why I've avoided this for as long as I have. I am a confident painter. I've been painting for a really long time, so I have brush control. However, if you do not have brush control, so pretend like we'll go into our orange, and let's go blow outside of a line. Okay, number one, your leaf could grow, and that wouldn't be a shame. That doesn't look bad like that. I kind of almost like it better like that. So, but we showed this already, so you can take your paper towel and you can wipe it back. If you can't wipe it back because it dried and you didn't see it or you didn't notice it, then what you can do is you can go same thing either with your dome brush or this brush right here, and you can go in and you can delete. This is your eraser. I call paint the great eraser. So if you try it and it's terrible and you're like mad about it, base coat it over again. Slip slap the leaf away and then start again. You know, practice on your box. The technique especially with the Mezzaluna brushes, this makes it like a game changer because you have a lot of control and you're all familiar with swirling, and this is like a rubby swirl. So it's not like you're not painting, if that makes sense. You're smooshing the paint around. This one, the most important thing is you're gonna blot to get rid of the flood of water. I'm loading only the tip, okay? And I am giving it a little blend, and then I'm just leading with the blend. And so it really, what I'm not doing is I'm not turning my brush all the ways. I'm just leading with that nose of that pointy bit of the brush. I actually like that I used this brush because it tells you which end to lead with. So you just lead right there in the front. if I lay my stencil back over and I lay that down and everything doesn't line up, when I get my outside lines on there, I'm actually not going to redo the outside lines. So I'm not going to tattle on myself. I'm actually only going to put the inside lines, which I'm going to show you how to do in just a minute. So if your leaf grew, then your leaf is just a different shape. So.
Well, and I also think that the brush that you're using is going to play a big factor. If I only had dome brushes, I would be terrified to try this as well.
Yeah, you wouldn't even want to attempt it.
But looking at those brushes and the fine cut and angle they have, then I don't think it makes me as nervous.
Yeah.
Because I'm with a lot of these people. This isn't something I would have tried. But seeing the brushes, I think, really changes.
Yeah, and then there's another brush that we also carry, and honestly, you could do it too with the, so we've got the oval brush and then the white wonder brush. You can use both of these. You won't get that tip that I'm using with the angle shader, but like, so I have this in water. I get the tip of the brush just with color blot, and then I can go in and just keeping my brush a little bit upright, I can go in and glaze that just using that tip. So if you want more of a pencil feel where you don't feel like you had a technique to know, then this, by using just that tip and the skinny of the brush, then I can go along with any of these brushes and do the same thing. Honestly, it would just be a good idea to just try it. Excuse me. And you can use the brushes for a ton of things. So then I can go in with this other fatter brush and just do the same thing, and then use my fingers when I don't like something. However, stay tuned. Don't check out yet, because I want you to see what we're going to do to make it all be beautiful. Because I feel like it's okay now, but we're about to make some things gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to use those glazes, and we're going to go into our water. We're going to blot, and let's pick up the red. So I've got just a very tippy tip on my toe. So notice it's not more than halfway. It's kind of more a control game than anything. Blend the brush so it kind of scooches across, and then right here on my tip, I'm going to glaze. This is glazing with that pretty color. Guys, look at how that picks that color up and just makes it just gorgeous. Then I'll do it again. I'll just load and re-blend on the same spot. Just tickle that into the tips. So I am, you can always tell when I'm thinking, I shut up. Okay, so now we've got that color. I'll blend that out. Wipe all the extra water out of my brush. You notice I'm pinching it? That's control. So you have some ways that you can control things. I can control the water. I can control the amount of paint. So I'm going to load water, blot, and then load a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red. So I'm controlling how wide, and then I'm blending a little bit more yellow. I want it to kind of go to the orange side of things. And now I blot again, once again, control. Okay, so everything using these finer brushes, a little bit of control. So you can also control with your pressure. So you're looking for the opportunities to control what is happening on your board. And now I'm going to go right over that brown. I'm going to walk it around. And these just pop the colors. So now I can go right back over here and pick up what I didn't pick up before. Walk it over the red. Load more water. Once again, control, blot, or yellow. So yellow is always going to be the weakest pigment. It's a very expensive pigment, and so they put the least amount of it in there, so that's always when you'll have to overcompensate for. So now I'm going to go back over the brown, I do hope you guys give this a try. It's just amazing. Okay, and then we'll go into, let's do a little bit just yellow. These have been sitting out here, these bottom 3 dots of paint have been sitting out here for an hour and a half, and they're actually not dry. I'm impressed. Okay, so I've got a little yellow and red going over that red. Walking up, and notice I'm just kind of mushing it all over my leaf. And then we've got a little bit of brown to go with. Ooh, and we need to spatter. Ooh, spattering is required here. Spattering will fix almost anything. Okay, so I'll go in with my brown. That's gonna rich things up just a little bit. And I'll just walk that down. I think if I were a beginner, I would use my Mezzaluna brush and I would put a little bit of water in it and I would just guide it down that way. This is probably my harder, the most difficult thing I've done. Leading into the toe of these leaves is actually not hard, but the middle blend is your more difficult place. But when you have good tools, dome brushes, Mezzaluna brushes, and they can do that middle scumble, it's easy peasy, and even 5-year-olds have done it. So that makes it easy to do. All right, now we've got this all kind of blocked in. I actually am gonna hit it with a blow dryer real quick. Hold your ears. So something else that you can do to make everything meld is you can take your sanding block and you can just kind of sand through that just a little bit to give it a little bit of distress and to make everybody kind of blend. That's a really good technique. Okay, so that's a lovely thing. Now we're going to put our top on. Wait till you see what this does. So before, and then we'll line it up.
Jeffrey says, each color looks like it just fades away with no lines.
That's what's beautiful about the technique. That is, you guys, that's what's cool, is when you need a fade, you need a fade. If you've ever wanted to make like your pumpkin be round, or if you wanted to make an apple in a project look round, once again, you want to make fall leaves have a life. If you want to make an ombre technique, the domes, the mezzalunas, and then this wash technique is incredible. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in with a medium-sized brush of a dome brush. We're back into comfort land. We're going to use the number 17. We're going to go in with dry brush, dry paint, and we are going to dry and offload that. And then we're just going to go into these middle lines. Reload with a little bit of paint.
We have a lot of people say that they see new brushes in their future.
Brushes, you can't have enough brushes. I love brushes. Okay, so now we scumble to get the detail. I love these stencils with the details, so you don't have to do the veining. I'll tell you, if you want to watch a room full of women cry, when I would teach painting classes, sorry to the guys watching, mostly in my past, there were women taking workshops, and so I say that a lot. But veining, drop shadows, lettering, those were the things. That is why we have stencils in my life.
Yeah.
Because I would watch people just seize up with pain and agony trying to do any of these things freehand. You know, and even if you were tracing them, it would make people lose their stuff.
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that because our friend Kat said that for everyone that doesn't remember, before YouTube. So the cool thing about YouTube, I'm gonna toot Patty's horn here, is that you guys are getting something incredible anytime that you want. That you have all of this content that you can get on our YouTube channel, get on our Facebook page.
I'll hold your hand. That's what I'm here for.
And walk through it because, as Kat said, you used to have to go to an in-person class with this.
Yeah.
And from what I'm reading, Kat has come to some of your classes before.
Oh, very cool.
She said Patty was an incredible teacher, so it sounds like Kat may have been at some of your in-person classes. But, you know, take advantage of these videos because it's technology's
you're
incredible.
getting from me, so before in workshops and stuff, they would have the camera overhead, just like I've got right here, and they would have a screen facing you, and so I would be sitting and teaching to the camera overhead, exactly like I'm doing now, and you have your own screen right in front of your table, so you can rewind me. And you can delete me, fast forward me. So when I get on a tangent, you can be like, I already know. You know, so this is so great, right? I mean, I do this for all the canning and gardening. That's my new skill set. I can't tell you how many videos I've consumed. Let's do a reveal of the leaf technique right here, and let's see what we think. I'm not gonna shove my stencil completely off because I wanna see. Okay, so that's with the veining on it. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I'm gonna pop it right back down and I'm gonna dirty brush, so I've got brown on there. I'm gonna dirty brush into the black. And my black looks really cold. See how that black is just completely like icy cold and my brown looks rich? I'm gonna go ahead and dip into the brown as well. It's not a good idea to dip into something super cold when you're already super warm because it'll look out of place. So I'm gonna go up the vein, up the stem, and give the center stem just a little bit more support by showing it darker, and then this is what that looks like. So then this kind of fades out. If I wanted it to fade out a little bit more, I could go into my brown and then do my mother color, which is number 22. If you didn't learn anything today but the mother color for mixing paints, that's a really good one to know.
I think mother color is probably my favorite thing that I've learned from you.
Okay, so I can go with that mix of color and I can back off the veins at the ends so that they're just not as strong. I could also go over it with orange and use the base color. So now let's take a look. So what I love about this is I didn't paint the vein lines afterwards. So if you go out of line, nobody's gonna know about it except you, and then you shouldn't tell on yourself. And I do think this is a little bit strong, so I wanna sand.
And our friend Jeffrey has my favorite comment of the day.
Yay. Hi,
It
Jeffrey.
looks like a real leaf just fell on your project. It does.
Yeah, it looks really good. This is a great, fun technique. You will love it. And, you know, do little things. Like you can get, does this stencil come small?
Yep.
Yeah, so you
Let me
can
see what
get
sizes.
these, and probably this stencil would fit on coasters. So you could play around with some little gift coasters for people or for yourself, for your house. Let's go ahead and spatter.
It comes, our smallest size is 13.5 by 9.75.
Yeah, so those leaves would be pretty
Yep,
small.
and then this is the middle size, and then we also have a 22.5 by 16.25.
Yeah, so what I love about what we do, and this is, we can only do this because we are producing these here in the United States.
Yes.
Southeast Ohio rules, but the only reason that we can do all the sizes is because we don't send these things overseas to print, because when you do that, you have to order in 200, 500, 1,000 of each. And so by us doing these in real time for you, you are getting them because you ordered them. And then we can afford to have all the sizes of everything. And we are an unusual stencil company because
Agreed.
of that. So we're gonna take our brush, this is our White Wonder, and this is cut in everything. Do you get the hint here? Domes are like dome shape, make great brushes. So this is cut in a dome that way. It is actually shaved up either side. You can't see it because it's super thin, but it is very obvious when you see it in person. And then it's like, you know, when they do the shears that thin your hair, it's got a thinned hair, like little teeth kind of going on there. This brush is a magical spattering brush. You need this brush in your life. So I'm gonna load it with water.
Can I have you move that tree out of the way, please?
This
And, yep, just so we don't get spattered. And I have my feet hidden behind my chair.
If you have a Coach purse or $200 brand new winter boots, like I did to myself one year, I bought myself some really cool like boots with suede and they were awesome. And then I spattered standing up and my feet wore everything. You guys, it's a real thing. Okay, so to spatter, we're gonna take our yellow, that is the acrylic, not the Minwax stain. I gotta get a little bit more out there. I ate it up, and we're going to just make like a washy place with it. This one you're not gonna blot. You're gonna just pick it up and you're gonna spatter off. Let's move those guys, since they're new brushes.
Yeah, Steve, can I have you put those on the other cabinet, please?
Hide everything. Okay, so I'm going to tap, and then I'm going to anchor, because I want, if you want it to look like snow and spatter everywhere, then you just go tap, tap, tap on the top. This brush is your anchor brush, it stays still. This brush is the tapping brush, okay? If I want it everywhere, then I tap straight overhead. If I want it only in my yellow areas, which is what I do want, I anchor, and the higher up I get, the bigger the spatter area. So if I want it tight, I go low. If I want it wide, I go high. Ooh, and then, oh no, what do? We just use our finger and just take it away. Okay, so if you have Q-tips on your table, you can do that too. So if you get an errant blob, then just take it away. I want it actually outside of the area of the yellow on the leaf. I want that. It's going to be like a magic sparkle. Did you have a question?
Suzanne said, are you saying that Patty spatters go everywhere?
Everybody's spatters go everywhere.
My response was, from our experience, everyone spatters everywhere. We have found it on the ceiling. We have found it on the camera monitors. We found it all over the place. They travel. They're world travelers. So see how I'm just going outside of everywhere, and I'm not worried about, that's another thing that can help hide any like faux pas that you might have. And so to me, this is like adding sprinkles on a donut. I don't know, it's just neat. I'm gonna go in the black, and I'm gonna go with the brown. And then spat, 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 spat. And then right up the anchor, anchor. I don't want it to snow black on me. And now, excuse me, you can have a little bit traveling around your board. Spatters stay wet for 100 years. Not really, but it seems like it. So you want to make sure you don't think you're just going to pick this up and carry it around with you after you're done. So I'm kind of anchoring the edges with the spatters. That just kind of brings everything together. I think maybe a little bit more of the yellow in a thicker spatter up the middle. Like all those little imperfections that you get on a leaf is kind of what we're imitating here. Okay. All right, I think we learned all the things today, and I hope that you guys didn't blow your hippie noodle completely wide open and that you love this technique. And I want to know when you try it. Yes.
I'm excited. All right, see you guys on Tuesday.